Today I'm talking about two players that will, quite frankly, make Manchester City absolutely unstoppable. And you can already see what players they are up here. I'm not going to keep it a secret, but I will ask you to stick along for me to explain why. And this is Theo Hernandez, by the way, not his brother, or Cosmo, whatever it is. So, what is Manchester City's biggest problem right now? Other than Rodri being dead? Well, it's a lack of defensive depth. Manchester City, defensively, have been poor all season long. And why is that? Well, let's look at that. Now, the players might be a bit different here, and Savio is already converting to Manchester City, by the way. But the main reason is here. Manchester City has conceded a lot of space and balls at this side of the pitch. Meanwhile, this midfield, this box midfield that Manchester City do, is designed entirely to stop space from coming up here, or to stop balls from going there rather. It makes it difficult to attack through central areas, which forces the ball out to wide areas such as these. The problem is, Walker can cover that. Diaz cannot. But why is Diaz even in this position to begin with? He is a centre back. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at why Diaz ends up in positions like that. And the answer is to create a box midfield. This is Manchester City's normal midfield. It seems pretty reasonable, right? And you're gonna have to create a box midfield somehow. Okay, you set up Akanji. Nope, Akanji can't do that. We've tried. We have tried. Akanji can't do that. Okay, you just play John Stones. Well, he's fucking injured, so we can't. So that is the problem. You can't just play John Stones because he's injured. So the box midfield stops existing when John Stones is out. Okay, so maybe you step Guardiola into the box midfield, and now you have Diaz out on the left, you have Akanji in the middle, and Walker out on the right. Okay, maybe that works. Does it? Well, no, it doesn't, because we've tried this as well, and well, we won the title doing this, but it's not like we played very well. The problem is, the box midfield creates a system. It is entirely created, the system of box midfield, to go forward effectively and concede as little counter-attack as possible. That works out fine if you have players on the wings who are fast fullbacks. Diaz is not fast. Stepping up Stones into a box midfield is not a problem, because Diaz remains behind and he doesn't have to be fast, because again, counter-attacks won't come through the middle. Now he's forced onto the left because Guardiola vacates his left back position and he's in trouble. You can't swap Akanji and Diaz around because they will both be against their favorite foot. So this is how you're gonna have to play if you step Guardiola into a box midfield like this. How do these new players fix that problem? Well, let's look at that. Let's put them back into this shape. And we'll have Rodri here. Well, how do they fix this problem of that we have? First of all, Bruno Guimaraes provides nothing else than rotation for Rodri. So he can go out here. He's a rotational player. He will provide Rodri much needed rest. And what does Theo Hernandez do? Well, what Theo Hernandez does is quite frankly world class. And this is something, there was a link with Theo Hernandez and Manchester City, and I hadn't thought about him until that link, and now I've been thinking about him constantly. He allows Guardiola to go into a centre back position. Let's take Diaz out for the moment. And then Theo Hernandez can play this left back position. And now, if John Stones does not play, Guardiola can step up into midfield. You have a box midfield, you have a fast centre back, you have a fast full back, and you have a fast left back. You have a fast player on each side of the pitch. And Rico Lewis, of course, can rotate with Kyle Walker, but that's not the point of this video. That's what Theo Hernandez instantly does. But even better yet, he creates so much rotation that you can do in that centre back line. You can rotate Diaz and Akanji. You can rotate Diaz and Guardiola. You can rotate John Stones and Akanji. You can rotate Ake and Theo Hernandez. Simply bringing in Theo Hernandez. You can even play Diaz and then Guardiola and then Stones. You can also do that. What Theo Hernandez brings is so much rotation. A single player will add depth for 4 players, really. What are we looking at here? We're looking at 6 players who can rotate. So this single player adds depth to rotate all these players here. So that's pretty much 4 players that can now rotate more easily, because Diaz and Stones will probably be starting most of them, so we can't be looking at 6, it's realistically 4. We are looking at 4 players that can rotate constantly in this new system. Simply because you bring in 1 new player. And this player is not only good enough to go to Manchester City, he wants to go to Manchester City, and he hasn't said so literally, but he wants to go to a bigger club. Or well, a winning club rather. Because he hasn't been winning much in recent times, unfortunately. So he wants to move to a club that is winning trophies right now. It doesn't matter if it's Manchester City for him, it doesn't matter what club that is. He just wants a big club that wins trophies. And why is Manchester City suddenly invincible when you play the system? Well, Guardiola steps into box midfield, right? You step into box midfield, first of all, from the centre back position. So now, you just have to run in a straight line to get back in position, rather than in a diagonal line. So you cover way less distance. He stays fit for longer, and he is able to cover his distance faster. But also, now, box midfield prevents counter-attacks through the middle. Now, you have a counter-attack on the wing. Savio and Hernandez, both very quick. They get that quickly. Doku and Walker, or Lewis, depending on who plays, both get it immediately. You have no more counter-attacks. If the biggest problem for Manchester City in the past season was that they were weak on the counter, Theo Hernandez completely removes that problem. Simply by being in the squad, even if he does not play himself. Simply because of that rotational value he provides to this team. Simply being at Manchester City will make Theo Hernandez a great signing. And if I was Pep Guardiola, I would be drooling all over Theo Hernandez right now. In fact, I am drooling all over him, and I'm not Pep Guardiola. And that is my opinion on why I think Theo Hernandez and Bruno Guimaraes will completely change Manchester City. Bruno Guimaraes just because he rotates Rodri, and probably starts more than Rodri because Rodri really needs some rest. And Theo Hernandez, because of everything I've just explained. So with that said, what do you guys think? What do you think about Theo Hernandez as a left back for Manchester City? What do you think about Bruno Guimaraes, I suppose? I think he's pretty obviously the best option that we have as a defensive midfielder. But what do you think about what I've just talked about? And tell me down below. If you've watched to the end, please like and subscribe the video. I appreciate the support a ton. And I'm so close to 60 subscribers. My goal is 60 subscribers by the end of the month. So please help me get there. I would truly appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for watching to the end. And I'll leave it there. And I'll see you on the next one.